Offensive lineman Trey Pipkins wasn't a highly coveted recruit when he came to Sioux Falls 5 years ago, making it ironic that he would be a prize commodity in this year's NFL draft when the Los Angeles Chargers had their chance to pick him in the third round last night.
Oh, he's so good.
With the 91st pick in the 2019 NFL draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Trey Pipkins, tackle, Sioux Falls.
Quite a moment. He's just, by the way, the second Cougar ever drafted, first since 1984. Quite a night for him. He was actually on his way to dinner with his family in Portland when he had to pull over on the side of the highway to take the call that would make his dreams come true. Pipkins worked his way into one of the top players in all of Division II when he came to USF in 2014, eventually becoming an All-American outside tackle. Now he's eager to prove that he belongs in the NFL in the bright lights of Los Angeles.
It's unbelievable, honestly. I haven't really it's hard to put into words just because I'm so appreciative to Tom Telesco and the Spanos family and Coach Lynn that they took that chance with me and gave me this opportunity. Just very appreciative and thankful for the opportunity to play with such a high organization.
And we've got more good draft day news for another local product. Former SDSU cornerback Jordan Brown was taken in the 7th round by the Cincinnati Bengals today with the 223rd overall pick in the draft. Brown had 8 career interceptions and 148 tackles in 51 career games. As a Jackrabbit, congrats to him. A couple other little moves, by the way. Former Coyote Andrew Van Ginkel, who actually transferred out to Wisconsin, he was picked by the Miami Dolphins. And Pipkins will be joined by former North Dakota State quarterback Easton Stick, who was taken in the 5th round today by the Chargers as well. Well, it's fitting that as they move on from Trey Pipkins as he heads to the NFL, the Sioux Falls Cougars begin to move on without him today at their spring game, wrapping up their spring practices. And they've got pretty much everyone back outside of Pipkins, which is a good thing. One of their guys they got back is Caden Walters. He scrambles for a big gain. They said he was actually stopped shy of the goal line because, you don't want to hit your quarterback in meaningless spring practice. But John Anderson's defense, well, they had something to say. On a 4th and goal, they give it to Gabe Watson, the leading rusher, and well, maybe that's where you miss Mr. Pipkins. I don't know. They got time to figure out the offensive line. Here's a guy who's got some time to maybe work his way up the depth chart. Former Tri-Valley standout Landon Freeman kind of bounced out of my camera view for there, but then he goes all the way for a touchdown. Final score doesn't really matter because, it's all Cougars, but Coach John Anderson just happy to see his veteran team make a lot of progress this offseason.
We've been able to install scheme very quickly and have it be replicated out on the field and done well. But as quick as we're able to do that, we've been able to get into a lot of situational football. I think the biggest thing that we accomplished this spring is to increase our football IQ as a football team.
Well, it took a year longer than expected after a storm canceled last year's festivities, but the South Dakota Sports Hall of Fame is finally getting to induct a couple of their all-time greats. Mount Vernon native Chad Greenway and Rapid City native Mark Ellis are among the 16 being inducted into the Hall of Fame at the Convention Center as we speak. Greenway spent 11 years with the Minnesota Vikings, while Ellis spent 13 seasons in Major League Baseball, and both are proud to be home and celebrate the place that helped make it possible, even though it all seems like a long time ago.
It seems like a long time ago. It does and it doesn't. I still, some of my fondest memories playing baseball are wearing that uniform, wearing that hard hat, and touring around South Dakota and seeing all these towns around here and playing some baseball, and playing for Coach Plouffe is something I'll never forget.
More so, obviously, thinking back to all, running track for Mount Vernon and obviously playing basketball for Mount Vernon and playing baseball and just kind of thinking about the whole concept of just my sporting world growing up as a kid in South Dakota and playing all 4 sports and what it meant.
And congrats to all of the inductees. We'll have highlights from the Storm game with Arizona as well as the Aberdeen Wings' second playoff game with Minot. We're back in one moment.